The latest reports say that Social Security is set to hit insolvency in 6 short years. However, just recently, a new patch, a solution was suggested for Social Security. And this one you might actually like. I'll explain that and more coming up. I shared recently that the Penn-Wharton budget model just came out about Social Security, and it moved the insolvency date up 2 years. The last report we heard from the Social Security Administration is that insolvency was going to be around 2034. That's been moved up. It was 2035. It was 2036. And this Penn-Wharton budget model actually said, no, insolvency we're going to reach in 2032. That's just 6 years away. And in that report, they weren't making any recommendations, but they laid out a few different scenarios of potential budget cuts. And guys, there's no way to kind of, make it sound good. Insolvency is imminent for Social Security. It needs reform. And the question is, well, how painful will it be? And I guess the other question is, how close to crisis are we going to go before Congress acts? Well, just recently, just a couple days after the Penn-Wharton budget model was released, the Committee for Responsible Federal Budget released a suggestion, their own analysis, not contradicting what the Penn-Wharton model said, but suggesting a new fix, that one that is probably hidden in plain sight. I hadn't heard of this fix before, and it's one you might actually like. We know any fix to Social Security is going to cause some pain. It's not going to be a pain-free adjustment. If it was, I think we'd have already made it. It's likely going to be some combination of raising taxes, limiting benefits, and a variety of options in between. This proposal just released last week, actually it's going to be painful, but you might like it, and it might be sort of minimizing the pain. What's the fix called? It's called the 6-figure limit, and it actually means just what it says. Believe it or not, there is a group of individuals right now, and it's less than 0.1%, so very, very few people that are collecting Social Security right now, and combined as a married couple, they're receiving more than $100,000 of combined Social Security. Yes, you can imagine that's a very, very small number. But the projections out there in the future with, rising cost of living and inflation, that sort of thing, is it will be more and more. This isn't going to be an enormous group of folks that are going to have combined Social Security incomes of over 6 figures, but it's going to be more than it is today out there in the future. Well, this fix, I would call it a patch because it's not a permanent fix, but this patch would actually cap couples at 6 figures. If your Social Security, if your combined Social Security as a married couple is going to be more than $100,000, it would cap that combined benefit at $100,000. For an individual, it would cap it at $50,000. You can see here that the $100,000 6-figure limit would be adjusted based on marital status and the collection age. A single person collecting would face a $50,000 limit, like I mentioned. If spouses delay until 70, if they delay their Social Security until 70, that $100,000 cap would continue to grow because they're delaying benefits up to $124,000. That would be the cap. If they both drew it immediately at 62, the earliest filing age, they'd be capped at $70,000. Again, it's that same $100,000 limit, but with some reductions for early withdrawals. How much would this patch solve? How much would it fix Social Security? Immediately, apparently, it would add another 7 years to solvency. So it would delay that 2032 and push it out to 2039. Now, that's if we adopt this fix immediately. But if you look at this analysis further, this adjustment would fill in a significant amount of the gap over a few decades. You can see here that a 75-year shortfall, 55 to 60% of it is closed by this adjustment alone. Therefore, combining this with maybe some of the other adjustments proposed, maybe pushing the full retirement age out to 69 is one of the things they're proposing, making some adjustment to the cost of living adjustment, the formula, even the formula of calculating Social Security. One of those combined with this maybe could delay Social Security, the insolvency, push it out significantly. So are you a fan of this change? Is this something that you could get behind and say, yeah, let's implement this and maybe make some other change and we're off to the races? Again, it's only going to impact just a small percentage of people today. It's going to impact more out there in the future. So is this something that you would recommend? Certainly a very, very progressive approach in that the individuals that are going to be impacted and would see their Social Security capped are the folks that have had significantly high income over their careers. And apparently the report even says for that group, this Social Security, even though it would be a large amount of Social Security, only represents a small portion of their income. So very, very progressive. But what do you think? Is this a suggestion? Is this a change that you would recommend? And if so, what else would you recommend as well? Would you delay Social Security, the full retirement age limit? Would you change the formula? Would you change the inflation formula? Love to hear that from you. But the question is, how are you going to optimize Social Security for your situation? We know changes are coming. I shared previously when I talked about the Penn Wharton model that, yeah, you got to bake in some of those changes into your plan right now, not as like permanent fixtures, but just to see the trade-offs. What adjustment, what impact would it have on your plan so that you can plan ahead? And all of that in working with your CFP can help infuse to, well, should you draw Social Security right away like most people should? Or should you delay it until January, do some tax planning, maybe delay it 2 years, maybe delay it all the way until age 70, figure out what is best for your situation. Work with your CFP on that. If you don't have a CFP on your team, you can contact one on my team. Find us online, Korhorn.com, that's Korhorn with a K, wisemoneyshow.com, you can find us there as well, or give us a call, 574-247-5898. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.